gonna be born.
Oh!
You say all that, but you're grown just like I'm grown. You know what you did.
Right, I know what I did.
And you know what I did.
never
But guess
denied
what?
that I did it.
Is the father of my 2-year-old daughter. It takes two to tango. Give me 1 second.
The case begins with a revelation so unbelievable that even the courtroom seems to struggle to process it. After 28 years of living with one version of her life, Shatika Lawrence suddenly finds herself staring at a completely different possibility.
Good day, everyone. Ms. Lawrence, you claim that 6 months ago, your mother, the defendant, shared a secret she'd kept from you your entire life.
A secret buried for decades has surfaced because of a random conversation between two strangers on a bus. Now, sitting in a court, she must confront a question she never expected to ask. Could the man who helped raise her not be her biological father after all? The answer is somewhere in that room.
After 28 years believing one man was your biological father.
For Shatika, everything changed with a phone call from her mother. When the call came, she immediately feared the worst. Her mother's emotional voice made her think someone had died or that a tragedy had struck the family. Instead, she heard something that left her completely stunned.
Petition the court for a paternity test to find out if the man waiting outside of our courtroom today is indeed your biological father.
Her mother explained that a man she had met years ago might actually be Shatika's biological father. The information landed like a thunderbolt. One moment she was living a normal day, and the next she was questioning the very foundation of her identity.
Now, Ms. Simmons, you admit to keeping a lifelong secret from your daughter.
As the story unfolds, the courtroom learns how this shocking possibility came to light. Shakita's mother, Miss Simmons, explains that she met Rudolph Rock during a chance bus ride. What started as casual conversation turned into a deeply personal discussion.
But first, Ms. Lawrence, please tell the court how your mother revealed her 28-year secret to you.
First off, I just want to say that I am definitely emotionally frustrated with her.
Before long, topics from the distant past began resurfacing. During that conversation, the possibility emerged that Rudolph could be connected to her daughter's life in a way neither of them had ever imagined. It sounds almost unbelievable, yet that random encounter set in motion the events that eventually brought everyone into Judge Lake's courtroom.
She called me about 6 months ago, and when I answered the phone, she was hysterically crying and...
The emotional pain for Shatika isn't centered only on the paternity question. What hurts most is realizing that her mother kept this information hidden for nearly 3 decades. She believed her mother was the one person she could trust with anything.
Things that we're like the best of friends. She could have definitely told me a long time ago.
Mom, let me hear from you. What happened?
Learning that such a massive secret existed makes her feel betrayed. She struggles to understand why she was never told her. If there was even a possibility that another man could be her biological father, why wait 28 years to reveal it? That question hangs heavily over every moment of testimony.
I ran into Rudy on the bus one day on the way from school, and I'm like, I know him, from my past. I've never forgotten him. And I said, excuse me.
Ms. Simmons tries to explain decision. According to her, she never wanted to damage the bond between Shatika and the man who raised her. She insists her intention was to protect that relationship, not destroy it.
And she want to know what happened as it relates to her and this fact that this man could potentially be her father. How did it get to that part of the conversation?
At the time, she says she genuinely didn't know who the biological father was because she was already several months pregnant when she reunited with the man who would later raise her daughter. While her explanation may offer context, it does little to erase the hurt visible on Shatika's face.
In the conversation with Rudolph, I told him it's a possibility that I may have your child.
As the testimony continues, Shatika paints a picture of the father she grew up knowing. She describes a man who was present throughout her childhood and who embraced the responsibilities of father. To her, he wasn't defined by biology.
I felt that there was no reason for me to bring this up to her.
I think her initially telling me from the beginning would have made it more, you know what I mean?
But by the countless moments he showed up when it mattered. Every memory reinforces the bond she built with him over the years. No matter what a DNA test might reveal, those experiences cannot be erased. In her heart, he remains the man she has always called Dad.
So you knew, Miss Simmons, this man really may not be her father. You made that call on your own, and you held this secret.
The conversation turns even more emotional when Shatika discusses the difficult periods in her life. She explains that when her father became incarcerated, a painful void opened within the family. During those years, other men stepped in to provide guidance and support. Those experiences.
Trust me, I was alive in the 82. I won't tell my age, but I remember trying to be fly as well.
Shaped her understanding of family and loyalty. loyal. As she speaks, the courtroom can feel the weight of her memories. This isn't simply about discovering biological truth. It's about understanding how relationships survive when life takes unexpected and sometimes heartbreaking turns.
So you had a good relationship.
Me and my dad had a we still do to this day. We have a really, really good relationship, and definitely, because he had kind of like that.
Hearing her daughter's pain becomes almost too much for Miss Simmons. Her voice begins to crack as she admits she never intended to hurt the person she loves most. The regret is obvious, yet regret alone cannot undo nearly 3 decades of silence.
Ms. Simmons, how does it make you feel to hear your daughter say this?
It hurts. It hurts a lot. I never really knew that she felt like that.
Judge Lake observes the emotional toll this secret has taken on everyone involved. The situation feels especially tragic because none of it might have come to light without one unexpected conversation between strangers. Fate, coincidence, or chance had forced a hidden chapter into the open.
Me not telling her was because I didn't want to hurt her.
As if things weren't already complicated enough, new tension begins to emerge. Relatives connected to Rudolph start expressing interest in Shatika and discussing the possibility that she could be family. Instead of bringing comfort, the attention creates frustration. Shatika makes her feelings clear.
I never heard about him, Rudolph. I don't know him.
So wait a minute.
She identifies herself as a Lawrence and remains deeply connected to the family she has always known. From her perspective, a DNA test cannot instantly rewrite a lifetime of experiences. Yet the growing interest from Rudolph's side only increases the pressure surrounding the pending results.
So you're telling me that since your mother reunited and found Mr. Rockmore, she's been sending him pictures and she's told.
The story takes another emotional turn when Miss Simmons reveals something deeply personal about her own life. She explains that she grew up without knowing her biological father. Suddenly, the courtroom recognizes a painful pattern.
And so when I finally, met my dad, I could identify who I look like.
Without intending to, she may have repeated part of her own story through her daughter's experience. Before the discussion can continue much further, Judge Lake decides it is time to move toward the answer. Everyone has been waiting. She calls for Rudolph Rock to enter the courtroom and take his place.
All of this. He wasn't a very good person, but I digress. But because she had that relationship with her father, who she calls her father.
When Rudolph walks in, the atmosphere immediately changes. Calm and composed, he studies Shatika carefully. He admits that he sees similarities between, particularly in her eyes.
Be together all the time.
But you have never met this man. I think the time is now. I know I want to meet him. Do you?
No.
You don't?
For Shatika, the moment feels awkward and emotional. She doesn't know this, yet he could potentially be connected to her in the most significant way possible. Even so, she remains loyal to the memory of the father who raised her. Whatever happens next, she refuses to allow anyone to replace that relationship.
But I think it's the missing piece to the answers that you're seeking. I'll do it with you. How about that?
Rudolph then tells his version of how this unusual journey began. At first, his explanation brings a brief moment of laughter to the courtroom as he recalls noticing Miss Simmons during their bus encounter, but the lighthearted tone quickly fades.
Yeah, I could see some resemblance, like the eyes.
Ms. Lawrence, how do you feel?
I have butterflies in my stomach. I really do. I don't feel like there's any attachment or
He explains that learning he might have a daughter after 28 years feels overwhelming. The possibility forces him to think about everything he may have missed. Birthdays, milestones, memories, and years that can never be recovered now weigh heavily on his mind.
You didn't feel
I
anything.
look at my dad, person that I call dad, I look at him and I'm like, that's my dad. That's who I look like. My mom's.
Shakita isn't prepared to accept those emotions without challenge. She wants to know why Rudolph cares so much now after being absent for her entire life. His response is simple. He believes knowing your children matters.
Not knowing you had already been there, done that.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay. I'm with you though.
But for Shatika, the issue isn't that straightforward. She reminds everyone that her father already occupies that role in her life. No DNA result can recreate lost years or replace the man who was there during her childhood. The exchange reveals just how emotionally complicated the situation has become.
So at least we know you're consistent. You liked her all over again.
Yeah, exactly. She was looking over at me and
Judge Lake then asks a question that brings the entire case into focus. If Rudolph is confirmed as her biological father, what happens next? Shatika takes a moment before answering.
time lost out of a kid's life. I mean, when we separated, I used to come back by her mom's house and
She admits she could eventually explore some form of relationship. It wouldn't happen overnight, but she wouldn't completely close the door. On the other hand, if the results prove he is not her father, she believes she will finally have peace. Either way, she desperately wants certainty after weeks of confusion.
and just see if I can see her out or anything. But I guess they have moved and
Yes, Miss Lawrence, yeah.
Why do you want to know?
As the final moments arrive, the tension becomes almost unbearable. Miss Simmons offers another apology, but the hurt remains visible. Judge Lake acknowledges Rudolph's calm demeanor while everyone waits for the results. Then Jerome enters carrying the DNA envelope.
When it comes to 29-year-old Shatika, Mr. Rockmore, you are her father.
The room seems to freeze. Every eye turns toward the judge. Every heartbeat feels loud. Decades of uncertainty have led to this exact moment. As Judge Lake begins reading the results aloud, the future of everyone involved hangs on a few words that will change everything forever.
Leave me alone right now, please, Mom, stop.
The case explodes into motion before anyone has a chance to settle in. 2 years after a little girl named Naomi was born, a man finds himself standing in paternity court, facing a question he never expected to answer. Mr. Boyer says he had no idea he could even be a father.
Garrett, you are here on a mission today to prove that the defendant, Mr. Boyer, is the biological father of your 2-year-old daughter, Naomi. Is that
Yes,
correct?
Your Honor.
Until long after Naomi entered the world. Across the court, Miss Garrett is determined to prove her claim once and for all. Judge Lauren immediately recognizes that behind all the accusation, confusion, and hurt feelings sits a child whose future depends on the truth.
You say that after a month of non-stop, unprotected sex with the defendant, you are 100% sure that he fathered your child.
From the very beginning, emotions run high. Miss Garrett struggles to hold back tears as she explains why she brought the case to court. In her mind, if the DNA test confirms what she believes, then Mr. Boyer must accept responsibility and become part of Naomi's life.
Well, today, Your Honor, I'm here to prove to Mr. Boyer that he is the father of my 2-year-old daughter. It takes 2 to tango. Give me 1 second.
She makes it clear that she is prepared to continue fighting through legal channels if necessary. There is no hesitation in her voice. Yet Judge Lauren focuses less on emotion and more on facts, knowing that feelings alone cannot determine paternity.
Take your time. I know it's hard.
It takes 2 to tango. We both grown. We both did what we did. And the result to the fact that we did, we created a beautiful baby girl.
As the story unfolds, the courtroom learns that these two were never a traditional couple. According to Miss Garrett, they met years earlier and quickly developed a physical relationship. She openly describes their chemistry and insists they spent a significant amount of time together.
You've heard Miss Garrett's assertion loud and clear.
It shouldn't have took 2 years for me to find out if I'm really the father,
So let me understand the nature of your relation. How did you two meet? What was this relationship? Were you boyfriend and girlfriend?
Together without using protection. Her version of events immediately captures everyone's attention. The audience reacts strong, forcing Judge Lauren to restore order. Already, the details are creating more questions than answers, and the timeline is becoming one of the most important pieces of the entire case.
No, Your
I'll
Honor.
never answer that.
No,
She said
we
no.
were not. We were not. We were friends. I met Mr. Boyer back in December of 2014, right away.
Mr. Boyer quickly challenges parts of her account. While he agrees they were intimate and acknowledges that protection was not used, he disputes how frequently they were together. To him, the relationship was casual and lacked the commitment that would lead him to believe he was the only man in her life.
It's amazing. I'm not gonna sit here and fault to nobody. It was great. I'm gonna keep it real. It was real good, Your Honor. And
He insists he never viewed their arrangement as exclusive. Then he attempts an unusual analogy to explain his thinking, leaving both Judge Lauren and the courtroom visibly confused. The awkward moment provides brief laughter, but the underlying issue remains serious.
and we had 31
TMI.
days of sex, unprotected, and
Did I hear you say you had 31 days straight of
Yes.
unprotected illicit sex?
The focus then shifts to the pregnancy itself. After their involvement Miss Garrett entered a new relationship with another man. When she eventually learned she was expecting a child, she believed her new boyfriend was Naomi's father.
You did it for one day.
It definitely
So
happened.
that's
It
all
definitely
it
was
takes.
unprotected.
We know that that's all it takes.
Right.
So you admit you were in this sexual relationship.
Yeah.
Acting on that assumption, she told him about the pregnancy and continued moving forward with her life. Meanwhile, Mr. Boyer remained completely unaware that any of this was happening. Judge Lauren carefully reviews the sequence of events, recognizing that one assumption set off years of confusion and unanswered questions.
You all were not in a committed relationship.
Never. Not
Were
once.
you ever under the impression that Ms. Garrett was only sleeping with you, or did you believe she was having sex with other people?
What happens next surprises nearly everyone. Mr. Boyer explains that he did not discover Naomi through a phone call or a personal conversation. Instead, he stumbled across photographs on social media. While scrolling online, he noticed pictures of a young child.
Is it going to be more?
Oh!
You say all that, but you're grown just like I'm grown. You know what you
Right,
did.
I know what I did.
And you know what I did.
I never
but guess
denied
what?
that
We
I
gonna
did it.
prove- we gonna
I never
prove it.
denied that I did it.
Then began doing the math in his head. The timing seemed impossible to ignore. Curious and concerned, he reached out looking for answers. At first, it seemed like he might finally get, but the situation quickly took another unexpected turn.
And for
Okay,
you to
so
say child
let's
support,
continue on.
that's irrelevant because you know I take care of my kids, so child support is irrelevant. You don't even got to say
Okay.
that. I'm not no deadbeat.
According to Mr. Boyer, communication became a roller coaster. One moment, he felt his suspicions were being confirmed, and the next, everything changed. Conversations stopped. Messages went unanswered. Eventually, he found himself completely blocked.
Pregnant, and you never thought to notify Mr. Boyer?
No. 'cause
Mr.
I had
Boyer,
no
were you
clue.
ever notified she was pregnant at all, or did you find out?
No, I wasn't notified at all.
The experience left him frustrated and confused. From his perspective, he was simply trying to determine whether a child could be his. Instead of receiving clarity, he was shut out entirely. As he describes those events, it becomes clear that the uncertainty affected him more deeply than many expected.
Actually was scrolling through my timeline one day and I saw Naomi's picture on her wall. So I inboxed her
Judge Lauren does not ignore the contradiction. She points out that the person actively seeking answers ended up being the one excluded from the conversation. Meanwhile, years later, he is now being called into court and expected to participate. Turning toward Miss Garrett, the judge challenges her reasoning.
Ironic, you blocked him on Facebook because he was saying, I might be the child's father and we need a DNA test, but now you're here saying that he is the father.
The issue, she argues, was not solely about protecting Naomi. It was also tied to preserving a separate romantic relationship. The observation lands heavily in the courtroom, forcing everyone to confront uncomfortable truths about the decisions that were made.
But, Your Honor, I was in a committed relationship.
So you were in a committed relationship at the time. You really thought the baby was the man's you were in the relationship with.
The story takes another dramatic turn when the first paternity test enters the discussion. For years, Miss Garrett genuinely believed her boyfriend was Naomi's father. Eventually, she arranged DNA testing to remove any uncertainty.
So, Mr. Boyer, you're saying you didn't hear about Naomi again until just 2 months ago?
yes.
What happened?
She inboxed me on Facebook, same place she blocked me at.
The results shocked her completely. The man she had trusted as the likely father was excluded with absolute certainty. Suddenly, the foundation supporting her assumptions collapsed. Everything she thought she knew about Naomi's paternity had to be reconsidered, and attention immediately shifted back toward Mr. Boyer.
And told me oh, well, the other boy, the test came back that he's not the dad, so you gotta be the dad.
Once the first man was ruled out, Mr. Boyer re-entered the picture in a very different way. When Miss Garrett contacted him again, he admits his reaction was far from calm. The news caught him completely off guard. Like and subscribe for more courtroomists.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I can't be the pop. I can't, because I got a lot going on in my life right now to where as though that would be
Beneath the humor he uses to describe that moment, there is genuine anxiety. He explains that life already comes with significant responsibilities. Learning that another child might be his would create major changes. Still, he insists he is prepared to face whatever truth the DNA reveals.
a hindrance, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm a responsible human being.
I'm still back on Talladega Night.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's the whole scene that came in your head?
Yeah.
One of the most memorable moments arrives when Mr. Boyer describes meeting Naomi in person. At Miss Garrett's request, he spent time with the little girl everyone was discussing. He expected to feel something that would immediately answer his question.
She asked me to try to be around, try to get to know Naomi a little bit. I went over there to see her. I got zero spiritual energy from this child. I had zero vibe with this child.
Instead, he walked away uncertain. He tells the court that he saw no obvious resemblance between Naomi Naomi and himself or his relatives. The statement instantly changes the atmosphere. Miss Garrett pushes back, reminding everyone that children do not always inherit visible features from their father.
I looked at her, she don't look like me, she don't look like my sister, she don't look like no female in my family, she don't look like nobody in my family. I don't know, maybe the eyes, but that's about it. I mean,
Judge Lauren steps in to separate emotion from evidence. She carefully reviews the facts already established during testimony. One potential father has been conclusively excluded.
Before you get on your plane and fly out of here on your...
That's your honor.
Let me understand. You had the other guy test, and so...
Miss Garrett remains firm in her belief that no other man could be responsible. According to her, there is only one possibility left. The judge listens closely, working through every detail to ensure the timeline holds together. The courtroom senses that the case is approaching a critical point where assumptions will finally collide with scientific proof.
The DNA test revealed the man that you were sure was Naomi's biological father was in fact not her biological father.
Attention then shifts toward accountability. Judge Lauren reminds Miss Garrett that she made several choices that contributed to the current situation. She blocked communication while Mr. Boyer was searching for answers and prioritized maintaining her relationship over resolving questions.
0% probability of paternity regarding the other potential father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so at the moment you got those results,
About paternity. Feeling overwhelmed, Miss Garrett becomes emotional and worries that people are judging her character. Judge Lauren quickly clarifies that the discussion is not about personal attacks. The focus remains on decisions, consequences, and the importance of honesty when a child's future is involved.
you started to unblock Mr. Boyer because you were like, oh Lord, I done blocked out the real biological father.
Yes.
So now let me unblock him.
The emotional center of the case emerges when Mr. Boyer speaks openly about what the DNA results could mean. If Naomi is his daughter, he says the realization would be devastating in one specific way. He would have missed the first 2 years of her life.
No other man?
No.
And so you knew it's not this guy, it's Mr. Boyer.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so, Mr. Boyer, how long after this initial point of contact?
He talks about the milestones he was absent for and the memories he can never recover. The courtroom grows noticeably quiet. For the first time, the conversation moves beyond blame and focuses on what lost time can mean for both a parent and a child.
Did you say to her, or did she reveal to you, I think you're the child's father, immediately?
yeah, it was the same day.
Judge Lauren summarizes the complicated chain of events that brought everyone into her courtroom. She acknowledges that Ms. Garrett took the important step of testing the first potential father, but she also stresses that cooperation will be necessary moving.
They hurt, I mean, but I don't know, we just gotta find out. I can't do anything until I find out.
Moving forward. If Mr. Boyer turns out to be Naomi's father, conflict and resentment will only make things harder. The judge emphasizes that building a healthy relationship begins with mutual respect. The lesson seems directed at both parties as they prepare for the final stage of the case.
And so Miss Garrett says you were the only other possible man.
She says a lot of things. She says a lot of things.
And so do you. We acting like that because it wasn't all this at home.
When asked what kind of father he would be if Naomi belongs to him, Mr. Boyer delivers an answer that surprises the room. He says he would fully embrace the responsibility and work hard to be present in her life.
Blocked him. He was begging you for a paternity test and writing to you, and you admitted it. You said, I want him out of my ear.
He even reflects on mistakes from his own past and expresses a desire to help Naomi avoid similar situations when she grows older. The response feels sincere and thoughtful. Judge Lauren appears encouraged by the level of self-awareness he demonstrates during such a high-pressure moment.
Talking about, can we get a paternity test? Because I'm trying to have a relationship with this other man.
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't understand how you can stand here now with...
Now there is nowhere left to hide. The arguments have been heard. The timelines have been examined. The emotions have spilled into the open. Judge Lauren reminds both adults that the case has never been about pride, social media posts, or damaged relationship.
Has been determined by this court. Mr. Boyer, you are not the father. He's not the father.
At its heart stands a little girl who deserves certain. The courtroom falls completely silent as the envelope containing the results is finally placed in the judge's hands. Every eye follows her movements. Every second feels longer than the last.
And that's fine, Your Honor. And I can still move on and raise my daughter on my own like I've been doing.
Do you know who her father is?
Yes. But like I said, in beside the concession, there was no other God.